Hey, this is the Duke of Dorchester, the one, the only, the man of the hour. Yeah, can you handle that, baby? I want to tell you this. You've been listening to Duke Loves Wrestling.
Welcome back to Duke Loves Wrestling. I am the Duke, a.k.a. the man of the hour, the man with the power. Too sweet to be sour.
Oh, get over it.
And I'm here with my grumpy co-host / producer, the Boston Bad Boy. I'm Mike Rose.
It's been a rough week in show business.
You
I'll tell
look
you.
rough.
Yeah, I feel rough. Not as rough as some people.
Oh yeah.
But I have a special guest today.
Who's that?
Direct from Hollywood, our entertainment reporter Chuck Nowlin from WZLX.
Woo!
Chuck, welcome to the
Hey, everybody!
show.
Pleasure to be here.
Now,
Welcome
Chuck,
back.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Duke.
You just flew in from the premiere of Liam Neeson's new movie. Oh wait, that didn't happen.
Ooh.
What is going on with that?
What was he thinking? I don't understand.
Now you've done a lot of interviews
many interviews
with
yes.
people in your life. Has anyone
Yes.
ever said something so ridiculous to you?
Unprovoked.
Unprovoked.
Not like that. No.
All right, can we just give a little?
That's career changing.
We give a little recap in case anyone doesn't know the story. Liam Neeson talking to a reporter says, "When I was younger, a friend of mine got raped by a person of color. I decided to go out in the streets of London with a kosh and look for, hoping someone provokes me so I could beat them to death."
Not someone. He was looking for, quote, a black bastard.
That's what he said. I'm sorry.
To kill.
Yes, thank you. To kill.
To murder.
With a kosh.
With a kosh.
What's
I've
a
never heard of a
kosh?
kosh. What's a kosh?
A kosh is like a leather with the weighted end of it.
Oh.
You know, like that, like a prison guard would,
Like an
bing you
old-timey
with.
slapjack.
thing. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he had a knife.
It's like exactly.
He didn't have a knife?
No,
He
no,
had-
no.
he
So
had
he
a
just
kosh?
wanted to literally beat
You
somebody.
want to literally beat someone to death.
So this happened many, many years ago.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But he told the story now because...
No one knows. No one knows.
Chuck, do you think he was proud of it? I feel like there was a sense of pride in telling this story. It sounds like a good bar story that he tells.
Maybe
After a
on a
few.
couple of points, because it makes him sound really tough, which is most of his characters.
Sure.
And he's also trying to say that, hey, I was a different guy then now.
But who
than I am
cares?
now.
If you're a different guy, then just be a different
Be
guy.
a different guy.
If you went and he's like, "Oh, I sought help," or whatever he said, and
Yeah.
Right.
I got over it, then get over it and move on. Why bring it up now? And now you've torpedoed this movie that hundreds of people have worked on.
That's
You know,
true.
not just him. And where do you go from?
Do you
where
think
do you
he
go
came
from
up
there?
with this on his own, or is there a publicist involved?
No,
who
I
said,
think-
yeah,
No,
this
this is
might be
him.
a good idea.
I think this is really
was it
who
off
he
the
is.
top of his head?
I think
hey,
so.
I'll just tell this story.
I keep coming back to this word, pride. I
Well,
think there's a certain amount of pride
And a
in
lack of awareness.
showing that I'm tough.
Well, but also I think it's
You
a
know what I
lack
mean?
lack of awareness and understanding how messed up that is to people of color. Like to hear that.
Yep.
Like the people like he's saying it like, well, again,
No big
like,
deal.
No big deal.
I got over it. I got over it.
I
You
got
know what
over it,
I
yeah.
talked to my priest, and I got over it.
Right.
That's what the guy said.
It's like the
Right?
It's like the guy who finds Jesus on death row.
Yes.
Like, you know what? I found Jesus at least.
That's it. So everything is good
Well,
now.
Liam is late 60s,
66, I think I looked it
Something
up.
and
like
he's
that,
still
yeah.
playing guys who can beat up
With
20-year-olds.
his bare hands, yeah.
Right.
I have a particular set of skills.
That's right. That's right.
So the toughness thing, maybe that's what he's trying to do. I
This
still
is it.
have it.
Yeah. But it's not that he was going after a person. He had to find the first black guy.
But also, I feel
That's
like
the
this
best-
is
Randomly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's going to give him that street clout that he thinks he
So
needs.
does Liam survive this,
I don't know.
or does it slowly go away?
Well, he wasn't at the premiere. He had to cancel appearances on late night TV. I think this might be it.
I think this is an extension of, well, I have a black friend, so I can't be
Oh,
racist.
absolutely.
This is one step more evolution. like,
Absolutely.
well, I wanted to kill a black guy once,
But I didn't do it.
and now I'm better.
Yeah.
What? Like,
Pass the popcorn.
In what land does that add up to anything? That's absolutely insane. And somebody made a very good point. I saw a meme, which memes don't usually make good points. But
Uh-oh.
if Liam Neeson said that his friend had been attacked by a German Shepherd and he wandered the streets looking for any dog to murder, people would be in an uproar.
That would be
PETA
a big
would have
problem.
this guy's house blown up by now.
Yeah, they would be outside of his house.
So what's the difference?
yeah, it's
Like you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like if that's the level that of the outrage, we've got a long way to go here.
well, my favorite part is I'm not a racist. I've never been a racist. That was just a moment. Describing that you're going to go after anybody,
Right,
just
anybody.
strictly based on the color of their skin, is the definition of racism.
If he said I went out looking for that guy,
that guy.
then
Hell,
now you just
if he said he was looking for any guy,
right.
he got very specific.
Mel Gibson had
Oh.
a bad stretch of his career.
Oh, he sure did.
Where
And
he
he's done.
said some things, and
Yep.
he's back.
No,
He's not
Well,
like
he's
he
producing,
was.
though.
Yes.
It's not like he's in the front of the camera. That's it. Mel Gibson's
Have you been in front of a microphone
Passion
before?
of the Christ just went after Chuck's microphone. Yeah?
He
How many God movies have you made,
had
Chuck?
to disappear for a long, long time.
Nothing he's acted in has been mainstream, but he's produced a lot.
I have an alternate theory as
Yeah.
well that he hates this movie, Liam Neeson, and wanted to torpedo it on purpose.
Well, he did a fantastic job.
This wasn't the movie he shot in Worcester, was it?
This is the one about him being a snowplow driver who goes out and kills people as for revenge.
Wow.
And are any of those people black? I don't know. I
Well,
haven't
that's
seen the movie.
I'm going to wait for it to come on TV before I confirm.
There goes the Academy Award.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
well, any more updates from Hollywood, Chuck? I know you've got to go.
Well, actually, yes. We had a very interesting encounter. Well,
Uh-oh.
we were supposed to, I should say.
Oh, right. Here we go. There's a good one. Tell that story.
Merchant,
Stephen
who's
Merchant.
one of the guys who put together The Office, the
Love
original
him.
Office,
Love him.
with Ricky Gervais
Love
in
him.
London, was in town this week.
Hmm.
He has a brand new wrestling movie
Yes.
that he directed
Yes.
called
Wrestling with my family.
Wrestling
That's
with my
it.
family. Yes,
That's
thank
right.
you.
See, you didn't think I know that.
And The Rock is one of the producers, right?
The Rock is
Mr.
yeah,
Dwayne
7
Johnson.
Bucks Productions. One of
And it's a
the
true story.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
this-
Paige.
Yeah.
She's still in the wrestling business.
Even though
She
she
really?
prefers the porn business.
Hey, no, we're not going to go there.
No, she prefers.
I think we have a clip.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, can you play that on a TV?
So he was supposed to come in this week, and we were going to interview him, but there was a scheduling conflict.
Basically, one of our coworkers torpedoed us and purposely told us the wrong day, and it was totally it was a heel turn, is what it was.
That upsets me. I could have talked to him about his HBO special.
Exactly.
He's had plenty of stuff, not just The
So
Office and
much.
all that. Plenty
Right.
of stuff.
He's
This
been
guy.
in so many movies.
Yes.
I watched the trailer for this movie. It looks really funny.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I
So you
think-
know what? We'll send you out.
Right.
You'll go down to the premiere for that, which hopefully will be drama free,
Yes.
and you can report back to us what you thought.
I'm going to have in my pocket an English, what is it?
Gosh.
Gosh. Sounds like such a great opening line at a bar.
Yeah.
You know
Hey,
what?
would you like to see
Also,
my cock?
you know
Yeah.
what?
It's like, what the hell?
You know what it
comes up
is?
with it?
That's by the way, that's a line that it formulates in someone's brain of someone who's never actually beat somebody up.
Absolutely.
So Liam Neeson probably is not a violent in real life,
Yeah.
but he plays these tough guys.
Yeah.
So there's this weird like self-loathing. So he had to tell this story of like anger and redemption because in real life he doesn't have any of that. It's just so bizarre.
It's so bizarre. Maybe, he's taken 1 or 2 shots to the head too many and
Could
it's
be.
affected him, but I just don't understand his reasoning as he's promoting a movie to come out with something like that, thinking this is going to help my career, this is going to help this film, this is going to put me in a good light.
Well, hey, at least he didn't moonwalk, you know?
Boy, you know what? This past week, man. This
What is
past
going
week.
on? Yeah, what is going on?
The thing about the Virginia governor being asked if he could moonwalk was
Yeah.
the fact that he looked to his right for an open space.
Oh, he was ready to do it with a
He was
smirk on
going
his
to
face.
do it, and
Yeah.
his wife
Yep.
had to cut him
All right.
off.
Inappropriate moment.
But here's the thing. If that guy
Hmm.
went and did a spot-on MJ moonwalk, you'd have to give him a little credit.
No.
I give him a credit for being the biggest idiot around. Like, what are you
Can you
doing?
imagine?
It's hard to do.
Oh, yeah,
Can
sure.
you imagine how many times we would have seen that clip by
Oh my
now?
God,
That
it
would have been,
everywhere.
the #1 video on YouTube. That would've
Without
been
a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And then everybody else now trying to get ahead of the wave,
Absolutely.
exposing themselves
yeah, yeah.
for wearing blackface or
That's what they do.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Virginia. It's we forget Virginia is the South really because they're kind of they're the South.
They're the South.
Well,
And they
now
get a
it's
long way
the
to go.
governor, the lieutenant governor, and the attorney general.
And who's next? It's a Republican speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who won on the Republicans gained the majority on a coin flip. And then his name was pulled out of a fishbowl or something.
Just the way the founding fathers intended.
So this is like, literally, this is a bad comedy right here. That's what this is. This is just.
There's better writing in wrestling.
Yeah.
And even as much as I hate
So
wrestling.
Liam Neeson has some competition for the biggest idiot around.
Is it just something in the water that this is all happening in the past week
all
and
at
a
the
half?
same time. Sure.
It's bizarre.
Anyways.
Anyway, so Chuck, thanks for stopping
Well,
by.
thanks for inviting me into the studio
For this
and,
very-
partaking in some of the snacks you provided in the green room.
That's
I
why
really
we're here.
appreciate
Yep.
it.
Yep.
That's why we're here.
You guys run a first-class operation.
And
I
you
just
know what?
wanna
Take a
say.
commemorative kosh on your way out.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Why do you always do that?
What's that?
Well, You like to jump in like you know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking
when
about.
Chuck
I
is here,
ran that conversation.
When Chuck
you
is
two
here,
dodos.
He's here to see
can't
me.
form a sentence.
Chuck and I are like good friends. So when a famous guy
He's
like
gone, and you know what? Follow him. Follow him out the door.
Whatever.
See if I care.
You know Chuck is thinking about getting a Tesla.
Yes, I know this.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
he's been on the list for a while.
Well, a guy who's on the list to get a Tesla is a good friend of mine.
You know,
So
I just hope that there's the word accidental electrocution is said next to his name at some point, because he'll go up like a Roman candle.
Oh man, stop that right now.
It's a lot of voltage.
Remember when he came on the show and he talked about meeting Ravishing Rick Rude and Roddy Piper and all that? I mean, Chuck's been around, man.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
Don't say he's old.
I didn't say he's old. He's been around a long time. Why is Terry Bradshaw in a bathtub?
Because he's Terry Bradshaw.
What is going on?
No, you know, the whole world.
By the way, let's talk about one little thing. The Superb Owl was last week. Your team wasn't in it once again because it wasn't 1994. So the Cowboys were nowhere near the Super Bowl. But during the Super Bowl, they ran a commercial for the NFL. What year? It's like the 100th year for the NFL. Well, NFL, whatever the NFL is now. And they had everybody.
NFL 100.
They had this big commercial, them all at a banquet, and then a ball gets fumbled, and they start going. It was kind of funny. It was kind of cool.
Sure.
And then I said to you, "Where's the juice? Where's the juice?" And here was my point. The juice was found not guilty criminally of murder. Found not guilty, which we know is different than being innocent.
Sure.
Found not guilty. Now, I know there was the civil case. But where's the juice? He's still getting his pension, isn't it? I believe his pension was protected in the civil case. His
NFL, where was O.J. Simpson in the NFL 100 video? We want to know.
Because to me, right, he's still a record holder, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, he was the guy running and jumping through the airport.
Yeah.
It was prime juice.
You should investigate that.
Now, the question is, had they put the juice in, is it a big...
there'd be holy hell to pay.
And I just think that on two things, I'm not sticking up for O.J. Simpson.
Sure.
But the NFL has put their foot in their mouth so many times. Why not put the juice in it? They ended Kaepernick's career. Let's just put the juice in it and let's just show everybody we don't give an F.
You know, I wouldn't put it past them, though. That's the funny part. You say that. I wouldn't put it past them.
But also, the guy, you know, I know he's out looking for the real killer. Maybe his schedule was too full. Maybe his schedule, but you know, OJ, I guess there are other people.
I have nothing to do with what he's talking about right now, OJ. Just leave me alone, okay?
I want to ask you a question.
What?
If O.J. Simpson wanted to do an interview on this show, would you interview O.J. Simpson on this show?
Ooh, yes. I'm not going to turn down any interview.
Oh, well, I know you're desperate because this show is lacking in
I
many
wouldn't turn
areas,
down any interview for this reason. Because I know that we would ask the hard-hitting questions.
That he'd get angry, get up and walk out.
Possibly, or beat the hell out of us. Or
right. Well, we didn't just run. He can't. He gets the bad knees. He can't chase us anymore.
But yeah, I'd have anybody on the show.
Really?
OJ, you're welcome to come on the show.
You'd
just
have OJ
understand
on the
I'm going to
show.
ask you some direct questions.
Would you have Liam Neeson on the show?
Of course.
All right.
But he wouldn't want to come on this show.
Maybe he would, though, because he has this, there seems to be this thing like, I'm a learned man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Liam Neeson.
I'm not a racist because I said I'm not a racist.
I have a very particular set of racist skills.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he would say. He'd call on the phone. He'd say, this is Liam Neeson. I have a very particular set of racist skills. What is going on with... And, you know, I liked Liam Neeson.
I've seen all his movies.
Seen all the movies.
Yeah.
You know, all right, here's the thing. What if, and this is a question really for me, what if my favorite uncle told me that story?
Okay.
What do you do with that? Again, he's not famous or anything.
We're not,
but it's still the same thing.
But
that weird.
There's a difference between your favorite uncle when you and him having a conversation. He tells you that privately.
Okay.
However you react to that is your own business.
Sure.
This man went on international TV,
right,
and basically bragged.
But is it still up for the fans to make up their own minds about it?
Sure, of course.
And are you a bad fan if you say that's not a big deal? Because I've seen. And I believe I sent you a few Facebook posts of people, black folk, defending Liam Neeson.
Sure.
Saying that, quote, I saw one a little while ago before you came here. It was a black person posted it, and the comment was, black people are too sensitive.
Sure. I don't think race is not some kind of it's not an indicator that you're going to have intelligence or even understand what the hell's going on.
This isn't a question of black or white. It's a question of race.
Yes.
And what that means.
Yep.
That's what this is.
Yep.
And that's why people can't wrap their freaking
also
heads around
racism.
it.
And do you understand what racism is and why?
Well, and this goes back to saying racism is a system.
Sure.
And that's why it really has nothing to do with who the people involved are.
Yep.
Because next year it'll be these people. It's the system of.
If Denzel Washington does that same exact interview and says the same exact thing, what kind of conversations are we having right now?
He'd be arrested on sight. If Denzel Washington said,
"Yep,
a friend of mine was raped by a white person, so I walked around
for 5 days,
looking
for any white,
hoping some white person would come up to me so I could kill them."
Yeah, what kind of conversation would we have?
Boy, and here's the thing: just flip it. Like use that example.
Yeah.
Use it. Give him the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And if it becomes very easy to understand, then you're the problem.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You're the one that doesn't get it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now listen, this is a wrestling show. We got to talk about wrestling.
No, see, I thought we were on a good.
In fact,
you had me on a good roll here.
You know what? We got a great indie wrestler on the line here. Hold on 1 second. Is this the baddest man walking the face of the planet, Mr. Antony Atom?
Yes, it is.
Listen, welcome to the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast. I got the Boston Bad Boy here with us.
Mr. Adam, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, Duke?
I'm doing great. Good. You know what? I like you already because you completely ignored the Boston Bad Boy.
Wow.
Which I try to do every chance I get as well.
You know what? I'm close enough to the phone. I could end this interview right now.
Why would you do that?
So shape up Duke and shape up Adamant.
Listen, Anthony, how tall are you?
How tall am I, really?
No, lie to us.
What's going on?
Lie to you? All right. I am 6'4".
You hear that? He's
all right.
6'4".
He's only 3 inches over me.
He's 6'4".
He's about 3 feet over you, but he's only 3 inches over me.
Don't do that to me. I'm 5'6". He's 6'4". He's all muscle.
Yeah.
You better watch yourself. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
All right.
Now, Anthony, I've been doing some research here, and I found out that you actually spent some time with our good friend Danny Cage at the Monster Factory. Talk to us about that.
Yes, I cannot run out good things to say about Danny. It was about sometime last August. He posted that he was having tryout matches, and me and the lovely Avery Rose and a couple other of us went up there, and he really liked what we did, and he asked us both back, and I am eternally grateful for Danny. He's done a lot of good things for me.
What's a good message that you learned from Danny? Because, he's considered one of the top trainers in the entire world when it comes to professional wrestling. What's one good lesson that you learned from him?
I would say that he will always give it to you straight. If he sees something that you need to fix or he thinks that you need to fix, and every time that he's done this for me, he's been right. I remember during my tryout match, he really liked what I did, but the one thing that he said to me was, I think you should get new gear. And I thought, oh, okay. So the next time I went up there, I had new gear, and I asked him, hey, Danny, what do you think of this new gear? And he said, oh, I love it. I think it really goes with your character. And I think if you take the advice that Danny gives you, because he is a gold mine of knowledge, that if you take his advice, he'll get you places. I mean, his results speak for themselves.
Wow, that's a good call. I've been trying to get the Boston Bad Boy to dress properly. He likes to walk around with a captain's hat and these foolish Hawaiian shirts and what have you.
Yeah.
I might have to have Danny Cage talk
It's
to
called
you about
style,
your dress. No,
and you don't have
you
it.
look like a fool. Give me a break. Talk to us about your character since you brought that up there. Who the heck is Antony Atom?
Antony Atom is a Spartan warrior, and he is obsessed with Greek mythology and the Greek religions, and he's devout and working out like a Spartan and just being a Spartan warrior. He's in the gym 6 days a week. He eats high-protein, low-carb diet just like a Spartan warrior would, and every day I'm just trying to achieve that Spartacus look and hopefully one day just to be remembered as the baddest Spartan to ever walk the planet.
Wow, you sound just like me.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Absolutely.
When was the last time you ate anything that wasn't a carb?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm working on my own kind of diet.
The dad bod.
What's this we hear about? You've been health conscious for a good portion of your life here. Talk to us about when you were a child. How did you get into weightlifting and taking care of your body? And at what age did you start?
I started lifting weights at 9 years old.
9 years old?
Yes.
What the heck does a 9-year-old know about lifting weights? How did that happen?
He doesn't know a darn thing about lifting weights, but he's going to try.
So who got you involved? How did you start?
Well, one day I was watching Monday Night Raw, and I saw Triple H, and I was like, man, he is huge. I want to look like him one day. And my dad was watching with me, and he said, you want to look like him? I was like, absolutely, Dad. And he said, all right. And he called one of his buddies he went to school with, who's known around my local town. His name's Jimmy, and he lives in the gym. And he was kind enough to take me under his wing at the right age of 9 years old, made sure I didn't get hurt, do anything stupid in the gym, and just showed me the way.
Wow. Shout out to Jimmy, who lives in the gym. He's a good man. That's right. Now, it's interesting that you talk about this here, because you looked at Triple H, who is this larger-than-life person. I mean, just a massive human being. Most people who are working out are never going to look like that guy. I mean, he was a dedicated bodybuilder and what have you. And even a lot of the guys who we would consider body guys in the wrestling business, like yourself, they started off when they were really young. But what I'm curious about is enhancements. How do you stay away from the HGHs and the people aren't really doing steroids as much anymore. They're at more synthetic type drugs and what have you. Because your body is definitely a natural looking body. You don't look like somebody who's gassed up or what have you. How do you stay away from the trappings of cutting corners and using some of these enhancement drugs?
Well, first of all, I do appreciate that. I am a natural guy, and I've been around this stuff, as in I've seen guys who have used it, older guys. Like whenever I started when I was 9, 10, I was oblivious to most of that stuff. Whenever I started getting into high school and I started hearing about these things, I started looking into it, not to do it, just to know, like, what are the goods, what are the bads, and most of the time, the bad outweighs the good. And you see these bodybuilder guys, and these bodybuilders, this is their life. Like, their sport is to be as big as possible, as cut as possible, and they're going to use those enhancements, and those aren't for the normal everyday gym goers, because the cost of how much those things cost, and the cost to your body of what it'll do to your body. Like, I've seen guys who run HGH for 10, 15 years, and what guys don't know about that is that it makes everything grow. It makes more than just your muscles grow. So as your muscles are getting bigger, like, say, for example, your shoulders are going to get massive. But then if you look at your abs, your organs are going to expand from growing, and you're going to lose that nice slender look. You're going to start having what's called the roid gut, the bubble gut. And I think in the long run that those things, they will do more harm than good. You hear a lot about bodybuilders, and some of them don't live past 40 or 50, and they talk about how their heart's triple the size of a normal heart, or how with their liver, that there's like tumors in their liver or anything of the sort. And I don't want any of that business. I'm perfectly content going to the gym 6 days a week and earning it myself.
It's funny, when you said that everything grows, Duke perked up, because, there are some areas where he could use a little more, and I know we're amongst friends, so we can talk about this, but...
I wear a size 13 shoe. You watch what you say about me, all right? I don't want to hear this nonsense. Jesus. Unbelievable.
Listen, the man's telling the truth. And it might be worth the roid gut.
Oh yeah.
And being dead by the time you're 45, because maybe maybe you can get somewhere. Maybe you can get somewhere.
Whatever.
You can get somewhere with the ladies.
Whatever. Give me a break.
Go ahead.
So that's an interesting call out there, and I'm glad that you're doing it the natural way. Like I said, just looking at you, it's pretty clear that if you're using any enhancements, you're doing it the wrong way, because you definitely don't look like a guy who's all puffy and what have you and looking silly. Now you brought up a name, Avery Rose, and we actually had her here on the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast a few weeks ago. And
yes.
Shout out to Avery. I know she's on the mend after having a serious throat surgery and what have you. You two have actually done mixed matches with each other. Talk to us about that.
Correct.
that whole notion there, because it's something that we're starting to see more of, even in the WWE. We're seeing more men and women as tag team partners going up against other men and women. What's that like, having a woman as your partner as opposed to a guy?
I think it really opens up the possibilities to having a different match. You know, it's no secret that women, they'll cater to different moves as to guys. It just depends on the wrestler themselves. But what I found working with Avery is that she's willing to do anything to make a spot look good. For example, she never did a suicide dive before the match where she tag teamed with me. And I said, would you want to do a suicide dive? And she's like, oh, I don't know. But I talked her into it, and she did it. She conquered her fear, and it's just awesome seeing that, because now she'll do it without having any qualms. Like, she knows how to do it. And that was us personally. But I think the overall landscape of having men and women wrestling in the same ring, I think it's a good call. I think that, I mean, you see WWE doing it. Even in the Royal Rumble recently, you had Nia Jax eliminate a couple contenders from the Royal Rumble. And I think that's a great move because, you know, if you look at Nia herself, she's, you know, 200 and some pounds, and she outweighs a good bit of the guys, and she can really throw some guys around. So there definitely is an audience out there for that. And I do think that with the women's revolution and women's wrestling getting more of the spotlight, I think that it's a great thing from all angles.
Wow. So, I mean, you're starting to venture into intergender wrestling, which takes it not just from the mixed match, but now you're talking about a woman wrestling a man. Have you ever personally wrestled a woman, just you and her one-on-one in a sanctioned match?
No, not personally, but I have seen them, and they can be really good, especially when the man and the woman are closer in size, and it retains that believability factor. And the same with, say, if the woman was bigger than the man, I still believe it retains that believability factor, that the woman will have the advantage over the man. And I think that if we were to run with those programs as wrestling as a whole, I think it could really change the game.
Good call. Good call. Now, listen, you're on the indie scene.
Yes.
We have a lot of promoters and bookers that listen to the show. If there was one thing that they could do to improve upon the product that they're presenting, and I'm talking from the pro wrestler standpoint, you're a guy who's out there, you're making your towns, you're building a name for yourself or what have you. What's the one thing that indie promotions could do to make the overall business relationship that much better for the wrestler?
I think, in my personal opinion, I think that if I see a promoter investing in his show and investing in the wrestlers that he's bringing in, that he's doing what he needs to do. As in, say I have a match, that's the third match, and there's two other matches before me. That promoter has somebody going back and forth saying, all right, these guys are doing this and this, so don't do this and this, because there's so many shows, and it's a big pet peeve of mine where I see 20 arm drags in a night, or I see, 50 drop kicks. Yeah, like, I'm a big believer in originality, and I believe if a promoter lets the talent be original, then I think everybody wins if it's all going in the same direction. Wow.
So putting them a lot more thought into the overall card and what's being presented and how the matches are being laid out. That's a good call. That's a good call. Now, do you have any bookings coming up in the not-too-distant future, especially for fans who want to check you out live?
Oh, yes. Let's see. March 9th, I actually have a tryout match with Nova Pro down in Alexandria, Virginia, which Avery Rose, you can catch her on their show that night. I believe it is an all-women's card. And the following week, on March 16th, you can also see me and Avery Rose in action at Monster Factory.
Oh, wow. You're going back to Monster Factory. Oh, man. Danny keeps bringing you back. That might be a good sign there.
Oh, yeah. I must be doing something right.
Yeah, good call. Now, if fans or promoters want to get in touch with you, what's the easiest way they can reach you?
Easiest way to get me, I am socially active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Facebook, it is The Antony Atom. On Twitter and Instagram, it's Antony Atom.
And can you spell that for everybody?
Yes. Antony as in ANTONY Atom, ATOM.
Now, just one last thing there, Anthony. Can we get you to come here and just show us a couple of moves you can practice on the Boston Bad Boy?
Yeah, nice try.
We've had WWE Hall of Famer Bob Backlund come here and put the Boston Bad Boy in a chicken wing and almost rip his head off. Mm-hmm. If you can come here and finish the job, that would be very nice.
I think based on that, it's your turn.
No.
So I think that Antony Atom can come here.
He doesn't like you.
What's one of your favorite moves to pull on an opponent?
Yeah, what's your finisher?
My favorite move is my finisher, and is a discus clothesline.
The discus clothesline.
Wow.
You know what? I would pay good money, and we can discuss the rate afterwards. Have you come here and give Duke the old discus clothesline?
I'm too short. He wouldn't even be able to.
That would be a great band name, by the way, discus clothesline.
Well, you can't steal it.
I'm not stealing it.
His name is Antony Atom. He is going to be at an indie show near you. Check him out.
All right, dude. Thanks for having me on.
Wow. Interesting guy there, huh?
Yeah. And I'm glad he told us his real height. My real height? Yeah. I mean, I know that in any sport,
yes,
stats are a little juiced.
Yep.
Speaking of juice.
Yep.
But
because when
that was a good.
When I played football, I listed myself as 6'10". So
really,
yeah.
Boy, I would think that like 4'8" would be a real stretch for you.
What is wrong with you?
You went 6'10", huh? That's why no one believed you. You went too far. You got to make it believable.
You always say things that don't make
Remember,
sense.
it's not a lie if you believe it.
Oh, is that what it is? Give me a break. Listen, WWE, they released their numbers for the entire 2018. So
financial numbers?
Yep, even the last quarter.
Why do you care about that?
They made more. Because
nobody cares about that.
Because I'm an investor.
Yeah,
they made more money.
Pennypacker over here.
They made
Big-time
more
investor.
profit than ever in history. I just want to keep throwing that out there for all you fools that say the wrestling business, this is killing it, and that's in trouble, and the WWE's in trouble.
It just goes to prove that all of you, from top to bottom, you're all marks.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, you're all marks. You're all paying into this system, keeping Vince and his cronies in business, even though the product, quite frankly, is stale.
Whatever.
The other night, I said to you, hey, I texted you, said, I wanted to bitch about Trump during the State of the Union. And you said to me, I'm watching wrestling.
Yeah, I was watching SmackDown.
You need to get it together.
There was something more important than whatever the hell Trump had to say. Absolutely.
But I thought he was
He's
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. So what?
So you were watching, what you were watching was bad kayfabe and good kayfabe. Trump being the good kayfabe because he made it to the White House.
Yeah.
The bad kayfabe being
he's also going to make it to the jailhouse, so I don't know.
Wow. From the White House to the jailhouse,
yeah.
The Donald Trump story.
That's it. There you go. You should write that. You might have to copyright that.
I might, I'll work with Bob Woodward.
Yes.
We'll do a deal together.
There it is.
Beautiful. It's a number one seller.
Listen, we got contracts coming up.
Mine?
Yeah.
No, I'm done. Mine's almost at the end, by the way.
For life.
We have to talk about that.
Yours is for life. AJ Styles, his contract is up in April, and he's still negotiating. He hasn't signed his contract.
How many? Don't go through them all. How many are up for contracts?
At least 6. There's probably more.
They're all going to go.
No, I don't think so.
They should all bargain together.
I don't think so. Where are they going to go? With AEW, Cody Rhodes' promotion? I don't think so. Not going to happen.
Listen, won't the money follow the talent?
No, because the new promotion has to build a brand.
No, but the brand will be that they have all this top tier talent.
You got to be able to be found.
They
haven't even signed a deal with a TV station yet.
You're not going to need it, dum-dum. This is what I was telling you years ago.
Here we go again.
The internet will.
Oh, the internet.
Who needs television
Everyone
anymore?
needs television. That's still the number one medium.
You're addicted to television. That's your problem.
Okay.
Every time I talk to you, you're watching television.
So what?
If it's not wrestling, it's some other ridiculous show. You're watching the dog show. You're watching this and that and the other.
Are you jealous?
Well, no. You just need to get out of your mom's basement.
No.
And stop watching television all day long. Get a life.
I refuse.
She's gonna smack your ass.
She's gonna probably arrest you. So Lucha Underground. Speaking of wrestling promotions and contracts,
yes.
Lucha Underground. They're a promotion that promotes lucha libre style wrestling, but they do it in a soap opera form. It's very strange, but interesting. It's different. They're being sued by one of their wrestlers because of their ridiculous contract. They keep holding these wrestlers on the hook. So even if they don't film a new season, you're still in the contract. So you can't wrestle anywhere else.
So they're locking them out.
They're locking them out.
It's
you can't make
lost
money.
Wages.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is what's happening right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what WWE does.
WWE
by the way. So
pays
they took that out of the book.
They pay you.
Oh, you're saying they're not paying you?
No.
So WWE will pay you hush money.
They will.
These guys won't even do that.
Pay you exactly what your contract states, even if they're not going to put you on TV. They'll pay you. Boom. Not even give you a severance. They'll just pay you until your contract goes out.
Well, because it's more of dramatic for Vince if he can pay you.
No,
he's going to just make it rain to make you miserable.
No, that's not
he'd
what
prefer
it is.
to waste money like that.
That way,
because he takes such joy in ruining people's careers.
That way, you're not at the height of your popularity going somewhere else. They pay you in hopes that the fans will just forget about you.
So maybe what I should do,
is
become a wrestler.
Okay,
right? Become very, very popular.
Oh,
and then only wrestle like a couple of matches, but be so popular, then they're like, we don't want, because obviously when I get popular, Vince isn't going to like it.
Okay. He's
going to say, well, for the next 3 or 4 years, I just sit at home collecting a check from Vince McMahon.
That's what you think's going to
happen.
happen.
Wiping my rear with it.
I think Vince will probably make you come to Raw so you can you join the Kiss My Ass Club. All right? He's done that to a lot of people. You'd be right at the top of that list.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah. Bianca Belair from NXT. She wore an awesome outfit the other day. It was a picture of all of these.
Why do you have to talk about her
listen
outfit?
to this.
Why can't we talk about her skills as a wrestler?
Well, she's great, but her outfit had pictures of all these historic figures because Black History Month.
Oh, yeah, yes.
So she had pictures of everybody.
But don't get me started with Black History Month and the WWE.
Well, that was an example of something great.
All right, I'll give you an example of something not great. Did you see this video they put out?
What video?
WWE put out a video for Black History Month, and it was a bunch of their superstars going down to visit the museum, MLK, and walking around and getting a history lesson.
Yeah, that. You know what? That was one of the more well done.
Now you're sometimes savvy. You're mostly an idiot, but when you watch that video, what was wrong with that video? What was wrong when you something jumped out to me?
No,
immediately.
Listen, the MLK video that the WWE just put out, and you can go to their YouTube and check it out, folks. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It was very well done, well produced.
All right,
they
it was
talked
well
about
produced,
the letter from the Birmingham jail, and it was about 2.5 minutes long. It was pretty good.
Did you notice something missing from that?
No, there was nothing missing.
White people was missing from that.
Oh boy,
the people, or at least half the people that MLK were talking about when it comes to race relations in this country, were not even represented in that. And I'm not trying to say that. Follow me on this. I'm not trying to say that white people need to be in every video. What I'm saying is, especially if we're talking about the letter from the Birmingham jail, it's about coming to the table together. Black and white and yellow and green and purple and orange and every other color. It's not about black folk need to be educated. It's not about white folk need to be educated. It's about, hey, you idiots, let's get together and figure this out. Meanwhile, they decided to parade their wrestlers of color through the museum, probably the people who need the information the least.
All right, come on now. Why do you have to go there?
Because you know why I have to go there?
Why do you have to go there?
Because that's the state of things in this country right now. And that's the state of things in this country that it has been since forever. That one side experiences it and gets knowledge, the other side needs to be taught.
You're damned if
and
you
it just so happens that it's the white folk, and I am a white guy, need to know more about what's going on.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Stay
WWE,
woke.
My good friend Vincent Kenny McMahon wants to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's fine.
He has some of the wrestlers go
some.
and visit, and they do a nice video, and here you go, right?
Listen, Black History Month, if you have a brain cell in your head, is not about black people and how great black people are. It's about the experience of being black in America and how it needs to get better, and the history of what that is, good and bad. And if we're talking about the good, because there were white people that worked with black people to get civil rights passed. But the bad, as we can see by Trump enabling all these white supremacists out there and all this hateful stuff that's happening again. We have not progressed far enough. So if you have a platform like WWE and you have superstars that are black and white and, Pacific Islander and whatever, what have you, Asian, men, women, why aren't we all at the table? You have the opportunity to have a big table. Why aren't we all at the table?
Next thing you know, you're going to start complaining about there's no black world heavyweight champion. I'm not
listen,
going to put up with this nonsense today.
You had to mention
show,
you know,
and
can I just let's tie in on another thing. We're talking about race. We're talking about missteps. Yours and mine, Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Oh boy.
Now, came out this week. It was written. They have the copy of it. She was applying someplace down in Texas.
Yep.
And she wrote, it said race. She wrote Native American or American Indian. I think I don't know. She wrote one of those.
Whatever
things.
the term was at the time.
Now, do you agree that she went down a rabbit hole that she shouldn't have gone down with this whole DNA test?
No, I think the DNA test matters because it's proof. Now you pissed off the natives by doing it.
Pissed off everybody.
But it's proof that you are, in fact, you at least have native DNA.
Now, you and I are not United States senators.
No.
All right. So we have this controversy. You and I were a senator, and we did this thing because we were told by our family that, you know what, you're Native American.
Yeah.
And I have this story and blah, blah, blah. So you know what, if it's going to look good on a thing, this is probably 70-something, right? Early 70s?
84.
Oh, was it in the mid-80s?
Something like that, yeah.
All right. Whatever, a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
No computers, no internet is my point to that. You do that, and then it turns out, well, you're one whatever. You are, but you're very slight. She could have got out of this a lot better. Like, she could have handled the PR on
I
this.
wouldn't have apologized. I would have apologized to the natives.
That's exactly right.
But I wouldn't apologize to the world.
She should have said, listen, this is what I was told. This is the heritage I'm proud of.
Yes.
I'm not connected with the tribe. I'm very proud of it. If I misrepresented any of the Native Americans, I apologize. Yeah. But I am.
But I'm
proud to have that heritage. And you know what? I'm learning. I'm getting more connected with it every day. Done. And you know what? This has been going on for a couple of years now. Why hasn't she made any friends in the Native American community?
Well, and who knows if she has, but where are they?
But with friends like that, who needs enemies?
Yeah.
I think they probably told her to pound sand, to be honest with you, because just badly handled.
So this is another wrestling storyline that just failed, basically.
Well,
she mismanaged the whole storyline.
She mismanaged the whole storyline the same way that the WWE and Vince McMahon mismanaged their attempt at saying, "I've got black friends.
Yeah,
look at me. Black History Month. Hey, we got some black people that work for us. Hey,
I knew you were going to do this.
Put together a little video. Throw MLK in there because no one can be mad at MLK. He's an American hero. Misstepped once again. Misstepped. A missed opportunity, and they don't care because idiots like you think it was good.
I just want to say something to all of my fellow McMahons, because, you know, I'm like part of the family.
Yeah.
I apologize for everything that the Boston Bad Boy's saying. He doesn't get it. Okay?
So you speak on behalf of all the McMahons, but you don't speak on behalf of all people of color when you want to say that it wasn't good or that it was good.
You know what?
That they didn't misstep it.
Thank you for joining us this week, folks. I got to get out of here because this guy, I
got your number.
He's going to get me in trouble here. Take it away.
Mr. Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.